Hey, everybody, and welcome to Attempts at Governance, episode 200. And wow, it's been an exciting one already. We've had a good time behind the scene getting to know each other, and we're ready to bring you the very best show in 200 episodes. We are going to start with the state of the treasury, which is looking very good this week. As far as DOT goes, we are up 170,000 DOT from this time last week, bringing us to 29.28 million DOT. We're also up 850,000 USDC, bringing us to 7.97 million USDC, and up 260,000 USDT, bringing us to 9.81 million USDT. That is the state of the treasury. I'll now throw it over to Funky for the state of the funk.
Thanks so much, Jay. The state of the funk is admittedly curious. And as to what I'm curious about, I wonder if Dottie Dreamer watches AAG. And the reason I'm throwing that out there is if you are watching Dottie Dreamer, whoever you are, wherever you are, I sent you an email the other day to provide some additional information and context about Connor Daly and how his ref passing will help kickstart the strategic initiative that's actually being built out right now with many American North American agents. That's the phrase I'm looking for, because we have great people from America and Canada working on this. And so would love a chance to chat. So if you do hear this, would love for you to just check that email and let's begin a dialogue. Thanks so much, Dottie. And thanks, Jay.
You're very welcome. Yeah, looking forward to checking out the state of the vote on that one. We'll get to that very soon. But first, going to throw it over to Limo for Referenda Gone By.
Thank you, Jay, and thanks, Dr. Dreamer, for voting aye on Nerve Wallet Ref. You're a top lad. Okay, there's only 4 refs, so I have to flesh out a little bit. The first one, I'm continuing my absolute just tirade of hate on this referendum. This is by the Lucky team on the Big Spender Track Ref 1372. This timed out, we normally don't talk about those ones. This was that lottery referendum. Doesn't have product market fit if you need money for the jackpots. Never fund this, please. Then we've got somebody that used to come on the show all the time, Paradox, on the medium spender track ref 1365. This was approved, and this proposes new curators for the public RPC bounty, which is bounty number 31. And those curators are Frankie Wild, Coin Studio, Tim Jansen, Capex, and Pastaman. I'm sure we've seen all those guys about in different chats before. Then we have Chris Papp and the OG tracker on the medium spender track, ref 1360. This was approved, and this is for 604,000 USDC for OG trackers operations and developments for 2026. Quite a nice tool for finding who's rugged the treasury, so I'm quite happy that got funded. And finally, we've got Amfork on the medium spender track, ref 1359. This was also approved, and this approves bounty number 62, which is the legal bounty, and it funds it with 96,500 DOT. And that's all the refs gone by this week.
Okay, thank you very much, Lee. Yeah, hold on one second here. Okay, just obviously a very popular show, 200 episodes. We have a lot of people in the other room wanting to get in here, causing a bit of trouble. So just want to make sure they're all dead forever. Okay, sorry guys. Thanks for coming. All right, episode 200. Yeah, this is going to be an awesome show. I hope you guys like the new look. That was our man Carlos. Carlos doesn't have his camera on right now. A man of few words, but excellent design skills, and he's given us a refreshed look. He's also responsible for all those charts that you've been seeing on the Coos and been enjoying. He's doing a great job. Carlos, thank you very much for your work and service. Yeah, you make us look good. Thank you. All right, we're going to get started today with an update on a ref gone by. We really appreciate when people come on the show and tell us everything they've been up to. We were just talking about them on the Monday show, Limo. This is the Pendulum Spacewalk Bridge. This is the Vaults project. It was a medium spender, back ref 748. And this passed just barely, 54.2% for 50,000 DOT. This was for this was a loan, actually, a loan. And we have
Exactly.
Alex on the show. Alex, thanks for coming on. What's been going on with this 50K dot?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Congrats to the 200 AAG. Great to be here again. Last time, I think it's roughly like almost a year ago, not yet, like March was the referendum around that. So yeah, we are exactly in the medium spender or it's a medium loaner category there. Yeah, we have added that collateral actually through Bifrost. So we added VDOT as a collateral to the vaults of the bridge between Stellar and Polkadot. We tried out, got some initial traction on it. So we started with deploying 10,000 VDOT there. That was like used for allowing different currencies to bridge over. We got Euro C, for example, from Circle that can be bridged over from Stellar. Also, we got Argentinian pesos, for example, and a couple of more currencies that can be bridged over and utilized on Polkadot. We were busy building actually stuff on the app level now to make use of that. I remember well, I had to explain that it's not only about a bridge, but it also allows actually for connecting to the fiat networks of those currencies, right? So the EuroC allows us to connect to the European SEPA accounts in Europe, and the RS allows us to go straight to the Argentinian banking network. And what you can do now since last Friday, and that's why I'm also here giving an update there, is that the team has been busy building an app on top of Pendulum using the Spacewalk bridge, also to allow everyone on Polkadot Asset Hub to off-ramp USDC, for example, for 0.25 basis points fee. So it's using actually the infrastructure built there. And if you don't like the hassle going through a centralized exchange or somewhere else, it's a 25 basis points actually using a direct, let's say, way to a swap on a DEX on Polkadot, then off-ramping or let's say bridging back to Stellar, actually, the EuroC through Spacewalk, and then going through a Circle wholesaler and redeeming that EuroC into the bank account. Takes a couple of minutes. It's instant SEPA at the end. And this is also a showcase that allows everyone to see what's possible, right, with these connections. I think it's pretty great stuff. We're also looking for feedback there from the community. Thanks again for the loan. Thanks to making that possible. And hopefully you also can now enjoy more of these ramps. We're looking into launching Argentina soon, also with a like revamped like fee there and negotiation. So testing is already going on. And then we might want to expand yeah, to more currencies and more countries. Brazil would probably be next, yeah, on the roadmap. So yeah, 20K VDOT are deployed, 16K still available. So we, with this current launch, we think we will deploy 10K more for getting more liquidity onto Polkadot of these stables that allow then for off-ramping from Polkadot. Yeah, happy to answer any questions. Looking forward to yeah, Polkadot community testing it. Everyone else also, so you could even off-ramp from all networks that are connected to XLR, so Base, Polygon, every other network. You can off-ramp your USDC also from there or USDT, and actually this would be backed by Polkadot tech again. It would be routed through Pendulum, Spacewalk to the fiat networks. You wouldn't even notice, so it's a simple step signing a transaction on your source network.
Whoa. Okay, so I have USDC on Polkadot, native USDC?
Asset Hub, yeah.
Oh, okay.
USDC.
Uh-huh. And then how do I off-ramp it if I were to ever want to do something like that?
Yeah, you go to vortexfinance.co or directly to app.vortexfinance.co. That's the project for the off-ramping for end users. There you connect your wallets, you hit the amounts, click confirm, and then you will be routed to a partner. If you're doing it the first time, you do a KYC there. And if you do it the second time, you don't have to do that again. So that's fully compliant. And then the process starts. You sign the transaction, sending the USDC off, and then the journey takes on. It's only one transaction from the user side. The rest is abstracted away from the user, happening in the background. A couple of minutes later, your euros are on your account.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah.
Anybody have a question for Alex? Thanks for coming on, sir. Good. We love to see these updates. It's better to hear from you than from OG Tracker. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And the
Thanks,
next
Vladimir.
step, sorry, the next big step that you guys are going to take is to look out for?
So we want to get some volume, some initial volume from actual end users. Next step for us is expansion to more countries, Brazil. But then also once we have some more traffic from you guys, every one of you, hopefully, we can prove that we can also work, like that we have uptime and so on. So it's all working. Then we can go for institutional API integrations to get some more volume onto Polkadot. So yeah, hopefully. Everyone can help on that and testing out, giving us some feedback at this early stage.
Cool. All right. Thanks very much, man.
Thanks.
All right. Let's get into presentations today. We named the show Mobile because we have a couple of mobile projects looking for funding. Friends of the show, both of them, but we're going to start with Talisman to start. This is Talisman Mobile Wallet proposal, 598.1 thousand USDT. To expand from their excellent desktop extension, browser extension, into the mobile space. We have War Blizzard, Natty. Who else do we have here? Toby, I think. Yeah, guys. Awesome. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. We were talking about this last week, but nice to have you here in person. What's going on?
Thanks a lot for having us, Jay. Yeah, we'll dive into our presentation if that's okay, because we want to get through it.
Sure.
Just find the screen to share. All right, does that come up?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, thanks a lot for having us. We'll dive right in. We're making a proposal for developing a mobile app, which will be an extension of our extension wallet for a mobile wallet. So let's talk about the proposal. I'm sure most people have seen the details, so I won't go into a lot of it, but just as an overview, it's proposal number 1390. We want to build a mobile app. It's a proactive proposal. We're asking for $598,100 in USDT. We expect it'll take about 30 weeks, and Talisman has been open source since 2023, and this project would also be open source. Here are the reasons for the proposal. Basically, this derives from community feedback. So number one, we've had a lot of feedback that people want a Talisman mobile app over the years. And number two, during our previous Treasury proposal, a lot of people gave us the feedback that they thought we should do some proactive proposals so that the Treasury could be involved in decision-making for what we build. And we decided to extend that not only to just more features in our existing product, but a whole new product. So I want to go through some of the common questions and comments that we've had and feedback about this proposal. And there are basically two main themes. One is our ownership and funding structure. We get a lot of questions about this and a lot of misconceptions. And so I'm hoping that we can clarify. And the other one is, of course, the product itself. And do we need another mobile wallet in the ecosystem? So let's dive into the ownership structure. So Talisman is set up for community ownership. It has always been the plan for us to become a community-owned wallet. Since 2023, we've been a foundation company, which gives us the legal foundation to begin to transition to a community-owned model. And I suggest to check out this little snippet on the bottom right. It's from a Medium article that was posted in 2022, February 2022, by the original founders of Talisman, and it's called The Road to Community Ownership. And so it's always been the goal and intention to become a community-owned wallet, and it's still our goal now. So we'll talk about what that actually means. And like, we do have investors, we have raised funds through SAFTs, but it's important to understand that in projects that launch with a community-first model, the amount of overall value that flows to investors is relatively small. So here are some examples of typical projects like this, and you can see that the community ends up with a much larger slice of the pie than investors. Raising funds from investors can be a positive sum outcome for the community because our initial fundraising allowed us to deliver more value to the Polkadot community than the other major wallets, because we've relied less on treasury funding, especially in the early days. One of the things that's been brought up frequently in discussions of this proposal is a comparison to other wallets in the ecosystem and how they are funded. We don't really know how they're funded because that isn't public information, but we do know that many of them are private companies, and the value produced by treasury funding will go to their owners. So let's just go a bit further onto that point. Many people seem to be under the impression that being 100% or heavily funded by the treasury means that projects are publicly owned or a common good. This is a pure misconception. Those projects are private companies, and unless they've taken clear steps towards community ownership, we should assume that any value transferred to them will remain in the hands of their directors and shareholders. So this was a question that was actually asked to us, and some people think this. So we wanted to answer it really clearly, even though it's a little bit insane. So did Talisman investors ask us to create a proposal for a mobile wallet so they could extract value from the treasury? And the answer is no. The mobile app was 100% our idea, and our investors didn't even know about it. Our investors are actually very aligned with the success of Polkadot. They have invested in other Polkadot projects, some of them in many. Some of them are also founders of Polkadot projects. So they're not here to grift the treasury, and neither are we. So I'm hoping we can put this whole topic about ownership and funding to bed and move on. So let's talk about, does Polkadot need another mobile wallet? And is there room in the market for another mobile wallet? These are just a few examples of hundreds of times that the question when mobile has been asked in our Discord and Twitter. So we know that there is room in the market for another mobile option, because if people were satisfied with mobile wallets that already exist, they wouldn't keep asking us this. The wallet that we want to build will satisfy existing Polkadot users and also bring new ones into the ecosystem. So we'll briefly touch on a couple of the features with that in mind. One is Talisman Sync. So this is obviously for current users. It enables people to sync their accounts and settings across platforms from the extension to the mobile app. And one would be discovering Polkadot for new users. So this would allow people to discover trending tokens in Polkadot and things to do with them. And maybe we'll just bring in just a tiny bit of degen energy. This is just a kind of feature comparison of the existing wallets in the ecosystem, mobile wallets, and what we want to do. So just showing that we do want to differentiate a little bit and occupy a different niche, which is mostly focused on trading. We've delivered a lot of value to the treasury and to the Polkadot community. Talisman has a team of amazing 10x devs who'd be capable of getting jobs with any company in crypto, but they choose to work for Talisman in Polkadot. And they are ready to deliver fantastic value for a mobile app for Talisman and for Polkadot. So just to summarize how this will benefit you, it'll offer a better Talisman experience. It'll onboard new Polkadot users and bring users from other ecosystems. It'll be open source, and Talisman will be community owned. Thank you very much. That's the end of the presentation.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's open it up for some questions or comments from the panel. Spencer.
Hey, what's going on? Okay, quick question for you. They're kind of two linked together. As I understand, it's going to be React Native, right? So it's not going to be like an iOS specific app, or what's the one for Android? Is there going to be technical debt? Why not just do, instead of doing React Native as the code base, why not just do one iOS and one? I can't remember the other name. What's the name of the framework?
Android.
Yeah, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So Swift versus whatever the other thing is.
Okay.
Sure.
That's the one. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Why not do that as opposed to React Native? Because you kind of miss out on some of the you know, the beauty of having like an iOS native app or an Android app?
We think that React Native's pretty good these days. There's maybe like some of the device APIs and some of the like fine detail in terms of user experience that might not be as good. But yeah, React Native's good, and it cuts the work in half. It also means that we can reuse a lot of logic from our existing code base.
And if you wanted to, like, let's say down the road, use Kotlin or Swift to create like native like apps, are you able to reuse any of that code? Like, does it create technical debt by just starting with React Native?
Well, I mean, if you wanted to, then you'd have to write more code again. We could reuse parts, but a lot of the code base would be different. But I think that React Native would do us for a long time.
Okay. Good.
Okay, well, we're over time, but we'll throw it to Anton. Let's see what happens.
How much time we have if we overtime? Because I have
Just go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So the first one is like you throw the comparison with other wallets, but at the same time you now basically confirm that Talisman had several rounds of the VCs, right? But can you elaborate on how you combined the income from the VC investors, right? And at the same time you were charging the treasury for the cost of the development, right? So can you elaborate like these income sources and how you basically combine them in eyes of the community? Because it sounds a little bit tricky. And I personally never did investment round, so I don't know how things work. So maybe you can enlighten me as well.
Sure. Well, so the investments that we did kind of got us started. They lasted, gave us runway for the first few years of Talisman. And then
So from
since then,
what year to which?
I think the original round was in 2021, so I wasn't involved at that level at that stage. And then I think 2023, we did. Sorry, actually, I don't want to answer that question right now because I don't have all the information in front of me. So I'll just say that the investment rounds that we did sort of supported us for the first couple of years, but then after that we started to get some funds from the treasury.
And how many rounds you had?
Two.
So from 21 to 23, right? And then basically you hit the zero on the balance and switched to the Polkadot treasury funding.
Not zero, but no, not enough to continue for much longer.
Right. But it just gives a little bit different impression when you compare with the different wallets like No, which is fully funded from treasury, right? You cannot say that you are more optimal in spending when basically you had a lot of money came to you like outside, and then you basically switch to the treasury, right? It's not fair to compare it, right? It's like apples and oranges.
Right. I think it's much actually better because we've asked for less funds from the treasury.
Well, it depends. I don't want to argue. And
I agree with that, Anton, that the impression that they're giving is that they were able to do the same while charging the treasury less because they had a blended funding model. They're not saying they're more optimal overall with their spending, just that they charge the treasury less to do the same.
Yeah, but it depends what were the investors. It might be that it was the Polkadot internal community investors, so it's just like it's the same money, just like the source is different. It's not treasury, it's just like VCs. So it's a long topic. And the second, it's just like I still do believe that the timing is bad because right now we have the official mobile wallet launching and we have several strong wallets already in the community. And it feels like we have a city and you're coming to the city hall asking for the funding of the like 6 water park in the center of the city, while we have already like a 5 water parks available. And it's just like, it doesn't make sense to have another one. Like what we're going to tell to the users, like which one to use, how we're going to roll out our community. And it all feels like waste of the resources of the talented team, right? Which you are. As for now, as for the current feature set, because what you've shown, it's just like, it's not much of the features. It's not much of the value which will be yield after 30 weeks of work of the highly talented team like Talisman, right? And it feels like if you could design a product with a new value created in the Web3 to help the Polkadot to be pushed beyond its level right now, that would yield more value than just creating yet another wallet with no like differences. The table that you shown, yeah, there are some features, but those are minor. Those is like, we can take it like 2 weeks and we can implement it. This is not like a 30 weeks difference, right? And I believe like some features like a sync sub-wallet had it from the day one. So it feels like there is no uniqueness in this wallet, and we are about to allocate money and motivate a team of highly talented people to work on this. And it's just like, I cannot comprehend it in my mind.
Spencer, do you have a comment?
I was just gonna say, I think permanent DAO is nay on this one, but I'm a huge fan of Talisman, and I'm also a huge fan of Nova. Like I like both. I would love a Nova or a Talisman mobile app personally.
Me too.
In terms of what it does for the community, I mean, I think I don't think it's a bad thing, but in terms of product features, trading is a huge product feature. That's not like a small thing. And if you guys want to implement that, great. That would be awesome. But I just think I don't know. Personally, I don't think there's an issue with this. But maybe I'm like a little biased because I just, I'm a fan. I don't know.
Yeah, they have lots of
Thanks,
fans.
Spencer.
All right, let's roll over to the next ref here. And this is 1391. Why are you guys always submitting proposals at the same time? This is Nova Wallet's 6th proposal. This one for, what is it, twice as much as the other one? Less than twice as much, 1.04 million USDT. This is retroactive, so work you guys have already done. Swap, seamless dApp, browser, portfolio, swipe gov, new Polkadot ledger, runtime updates, and more. Anton, welcome to the show. What do you want to tell us?
So, can I first share the screen?
Yes, of course.
If you don't mind. So, give me a second. All right, you should be able to see the screen. If you cannot, just tell me. But I wanted to give you a small demo of the features delivered. This is like a short description of the whole scope of 9 months of the development, right? What can be demoed on the call, it's more than the half of it, but I would like to focus on basically 3 things: the portfolio, seamless dApp browser, and the swipe gov, right? The rest I will also walk through, but not in the demo format, just to save us time. So you can find the whole deliverables in the table, right? It's nicely elaborated here whatsoever. And right now I would like to show the demo basically of the seamless dApp browser, which is like one of the feature that we brought. This is also like was released the last week, and I find it super much exciting. So if I try to do it like this, can you tell me if you can see it whole screen or not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing. So the seamless dApp browser. The reason why we jumped in on the scope of revamping the dApp browser experience is, first, a lot of people using the mobile phone on the go and would like to manage the crypto. And the dApp browser is helping a lot because it also connects you to any dApp possible, right? So what we did, we revamped the whole dApp page. So we basically cleaned up the dApp catalog. So we only have now nice working dApps in the Polkadot ecosystem. Lots of the dApps, by the way, died for some reason last year in July. This is suspicious, but we have the Bifrost, Hydration, so all of the nice dApps here. Later on, we will also add the created category here. But the nicest thing here is 2 things: the multi-tabs and the what we call seamless dApp browser. Let me show you. So for example, you want to do something like on the hydration, right? So now you can operate here. You can open another dApp because the multi-tabs are now supported. Let's say you want to open another DEX like a Stellar Swap, right? So this is all great, but now you want to do something in the Nova Wallet UI. So what you were able to do previously, you had to close the dApp browser, go to the Nova Wallet, do something there, and then come back and then do it again in the dApp browser. Now what you can do, you can just minimize. And technically speaking, what we did, it's basically like 2 apps now inside one. So on the top, you have the Nova Wallet native app, and then below you have everything like a browser related. So it's like, it's magnificent, right? But use cases wise, now you can access the dApp or the whole web anywhere in the app. So let's say you go to the swap screen, you say that you want to swap some USDT to, let's say, HDX, right? Whatever the token you want to swap. And then you want to compare the rates, right? So for example, you want to compare the swap rates inside of the Nova Wallet and this certain dApp. What you can do now, you can click on this bottom thing that has all your dApps open, and you will have them here, and you can go again to the hydration, and you can enter again like the same token amount, and you can see the rate, and you can compare it into the node wallet. Or lots of users want to get their address from their wallet, so they can do that now as well. So for example, I need my Kusama address for some reason in dApp. I can go again to the dApp and I can paste it. So lots of basically multitasking use cases are satisfied because the dApp browser is seamless now. You can call it from anywhere in the app. You can open any dApp here. You can manage the multi-tabs. Everything is persistent. So if you close Nova, it will be saved. You can close it. So no worries at all. It's very, very, very new and very amazing update for the dApp browser. Besides that, we have also worked on the portfolio view, which is our new direction of the improvements overall for, again, like a trading asset management experience. But basically, you can now switch between two modes, like a networks and tokens mode. You can also switch between appearance of like a black and white if you want to reduce the noise in your app. But by default, we now have this colored nice icons. And the reason why we decided to jump on this like aggregation of the balances, for example, like for the Polkadot across multiple chains, is that the direction that the Polkadot ecosystem is heading to is a multi-chain direction, which is now actually possible, right? So we just delivered the one-click swaps, which basically can build some roads. Like you can abstract from where your tokens are. You can just say, yeah, I want to have this, the USDTs, right? And I want to swap my DOT for it. And the node will automatically build the roads, right? So this is very nice, but we also want to abstract user of selecting that, yeah, I want to use my DOT on the Polkadot. We don't want that. We want to basically abstract the chain nature, and we just want to give the possibility to manage the whole DOT balance distributed across all the chains. So this is like our first step in this direction, like the portfolio view and all related features. But long story short, like the end goal is that we help user to manage everything in one click, no matter where the tokens are. So all this fluff with minimal balances, with manually transferring them from one chain, this should be gone. And this was the big step towards that, one-click swaps and the portfolio view. And the last but not the least, I want to update for the swipe graph, which is the part of this proposal. Right, swipe graph was something what the community also sent the idea to. Basically, it was calling the Tinder graph, but we decided to change the name to the swipe graph. This is new innovative way to interact with the governance in kind of like a gamified way, because basically you can just swipe referendums, right? You can set up your voting power, right? Let's say it will be just like a 5 dot with no locking period. And now what you can see here is just like, yeah, the swipe interface. You can swipe right to approve, swipe left to nay, and swipe up to the abstain, right? And later on, you can just submit whatever you voted on to the blockchain. Nice stuff is that the Polkadot Vault, the Ledger wallets will work out of the box, because we basically do the batch transaction, and whatever you do now, like in terms of the swiping, you confirm as a one operation later on, right? The second nice stuff, which I personally love it, is, and the part of the proposal is how we represent the data here. Obviously, the user has a limited amount of time, so we had to compress everything using the AI for the user to basically understand what they want to do in this proposal, right? So that user can, in a glance, potentially just to vote for it. If not, then they can read more, and that would be the whole stuff of the proposal, right? And the last thing here I wanted to emphasize is the multi-language support, which is basically working for the governance. And I believe this is like the first multi-language UI for the governance, because now you don't need to understand English to vote in the Polkadot. We're going to bridge this to regular voting as well, because right now it's just like whatever people post on the Polka assembly is getting visible in Nova. But we are working on bridging this functionality as well to the regular voting, not only swipe graph with this short sum ups. But this is pretty amazing. Now, You can see more demos in the proposal itself. It's part 6 appendix. We can see the public demos with all these features, right, related to the proposal, to this proposal, previous proposals, all of it right here. Couple of words of the overall the proposal content. If I have a time, Funky, how much time I have?
You're actually past it. Seconds.
That's
Nice.
done.
So, long story short, check out the proposal, deliverables table. It has amazing features, and check out the nowhere itself. Thanks.
Good, good. Very impressive. It's a very mature mobile wallet experience, guys. Thank you very much. Let's get this off the screen here. There we go. Nice. Okay, we're over time. Did anybody have a quick comment about that? Good. Okay, nice. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see. I'd love to see both of these funded, to be honest, and I think it'll make both better, 100%. And
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I don't like when I see you guys trying to tear each other down. You know, it doesn't look strong. Imagine if the coups tore down every marketing or content proposal that came in. We don't do that. We don't do that.
I love the team of the Talisman. I really miss Agile, to be honest, as a CEO. But it really was frustrating to understand that, yeah, nothing was found, at least for me, unique in the current proposal. But yeah, let's see how it will turn out.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a different experience, and then we can have it on an even ground. When are you guys going to do a browser extension?
I think like if Talisman proposal passed, why not?
All right, hell yeah, let's get it done.
All
All right.
Make sure it's unique, Anton.
Sorry, what was that?
Make sure it's unique.
Yeah, exactly. This was always in our mind. You can trust me. That will be unique.
Look, it's a sector that we're spending millions of dollars on a year. Competition is good. We'll check in 3 years and see what works and see what won. Thank you very much, both of you, and both teams, everybody who came. Okay, we're gonna move on now to. Oh yeah. Okay, this is a big one. This is out of left field. Came up quick and just posted today. Still waiting for a decision deposit. Let me refresh the page here. Yep, this is Ref 1398, fine-tuned and dedicated onboard strategy to Polkadot. This is for 495,000 DOT. And yeah, let's dive into it and get a handle on what's going on here. We're going to set the timer, and we have Moonbearer
All right.
and friends here. Moonbearer, take it away.
Yeah, so I hope we can share the presentation. All right. So my name is Moonbearer. I think most of you know me as a community guy in Polkadot, and everybody knows how much weight I put on emphasizing how important community is. And I mean, it's an open book that we kind of lack in this space a little bit. Like we don't have so many people on our great streets using our products and making advertising for us. And like 3 months ago, I was thinking, how could this be? Like, we don't have an influx of new vocal people into our community. How could this be? Because we put out so much marketing and so much presence in sports and on shirts and everything. We do make a lot of like advertising. And then I stepped back and I looked at a person who tried to onboard into Polkadot. Like, hey, I told him, like, hey, get into Polkadot, and he didn't really know where to start. There was no real funnel. Like, where do I actually start? And this is like a pain point for us, and I believe we need to change this and make a like fundamental change in how we do marketing and how we try to attract people into our ecosystem. So I thought about a way, and I looked into in Polkadot, how could this be done? And I found the way via Codadot, where you can create like QR codes with prepaid, let's say, NFTs or tokens. And I thought, okay, so what do we do? Like, we need people to scan QR codes that then open, for example, Nova Wallet for an easy step into the ecosystem overall. And yeah, we found the solution. And then I tried to see, all right, who is the best demographic to onboard into crypto? And without a doubt, it's esports. And then I looked in esports about like which team is the best team that is most interactive with their community, right? And this is by far G2, and G2 is one of the largest esports team ever. and they have a very strong presence also in North America. So I got in touch with them and I pitched them the idea of what my idea was to bring in people into Polkadot and really build a funnel which can be promoted to their community, to bring in the people and bring them into a funnel where they can learn in our Discord, where there's clear call to actions. And we use QR codes to do this. We use QR codes in every marketing aspect where people just scan it and they get told to download Nova Wallet, and then they scan it again, then get to a page where they get rewarded. And these fans, they can win prizes which money cannot buy with G2, like a weekend away with the team and all these things. Like we have created a lot of thought starters with a lot of flexibility from G2, like, hey, what would you need and what would be a good thing to do in Polkadot and how could we lead the people there? And I believe later on or in the next days, we will have a lot more time to explain the thought starters. But in general, it is not slapping logos on things, but giving people an option to scan something and be told what to do and where to go. And this is the funnel that we created. And we're going to expand on it. But I think right now it is time for the CEO of G2 to take over to tell why G2 is the perfect partner. So Orban,
thank you.
Take it away.
Thank you, Moon. Thank you so much for the
introduction
and the why and the how, because I think it's very important in this case. My name is G2 Stilgar. I'm the CEO of G2. We are just a 10 years old sports club, which is very young for a sports club. But in this short amount of time, we became considered as the Real Madrid of esports for people to know soccer. So I think it's a lot of trophies. We won more trophies than any organization in the last 5 years. More podium, more trophies. But we are much more than that, because we were not just grown up as a club, but we also known for storytelling. If you look at the next slide, you can see that basically to give us like a dominant top laner in League of Legends, we make it the godfather of League of Legends. We make it the top father. We create a content series. We make the players play as actors, and we create a universe where we engage all fans on a journey. And this is why we can create so much value for partners. We're just not entertaining through competition. We're entertaining by building like memes and storytelling and narrative. So you can see on the screen the 4 pillars for us. We are a multi-club organization. So that means not like FC Barcelona or Ferrari, depending on one sport. We are on all the video games that are very successful so that we can manage popularity of games, go up and down, and always adapt our portfolio. We have stars and talents that are both players and creators, so we can engage on different level of entertainment. We build long-term partnership, and I will let Sabrina talk about that. And we build like narrative and storytelling. This is how we have built the club, not just on competition, but actually on entertainment. And if you look at the fan, in a very short amount of time, we assembled 35 million fans. We are very proud that they are diverse, not just in terms of gender, also on age. Of course, our bullseye target is spot on in terms of onboarding on Polkadot. But what's very important for us is that we are not connected to one city or one country. We're not like Real Madrid, based in Madrid with a stadium and a country affiliation. We are everywhere. We have clubs in Europe. We have clubs in the US. We also have a big fandom in China that allow us to dominate and be the leading voice for this type of content across all regions. The next step for us is Middle East, but right now we are very proud to have managed to create this organization that appeals to both Europe and Americas in a similar way. And now I'm going to pass the torch to Sabrina to talk about how we build partnership.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, conscious of time, I think pictures probably speak for themselves. We are very proud to have a long-lasting list of partners that we've been working with almost since the inception of G2. And obviously, we want Polkadot to be next to these amazing partners that you see on this slide. So we put together some first thought starters to give you an idea on how we would bring this partnership to life. And for us, we broke it down into how we would introduce it, how we would build the partnership, and then obviously how we would convert. Starting with introduce, we like to introduce every new partner with a big bang. So one of the ideas that we had, and again, see it as a thought starter, is that we would like to launch like giant branded balloons in the hometowns of our players, but also in Berlin, where G2 has its headquarters. Fans can join in celebrating, they can post pics of the balloons using a specific hashtag, and that's instantly the moment where they start claiming rewards and can celebrate this partnership. We will then double down on this first moment of awareness by making Polkadot the presenting partner of the G2 formats that our fans love the most. And not only that, we want to enable for these content series, enable them even more and have a deeper integration by embedding QR codes, as Moon mentioned. And those will link to additional content pieces, additional information around the respective players that are seen in the content, or the rosters that we are telling these stories about that you've seen. On the build side, events are where we build long-lasting emotional touch points with our fans, and we want to enhance our current watch party experience with Polkadot portals. So what we want to do is attendees collect a POA, they get a special rewards, either on-site or digital perks. And then we move on to the heart of the community, which is gaming, of course. So we let our fans play Flappy Wood. We'll have G2 Easter eggs built into the game, which, of course, our fans will recognize because they know G2. So this way, they will not only be able to play a fun game, but also be able to collect NFTs, which then serve as raffle tickets. So then at the end, you get the chance to win jerseys or other memorabilia from G2. Then Discord is big for us. We ensure a very open and transparent line of comms with our community. So one idea was to run Discord challenges where our fans compete against each other, and then obviously also can earn exclusive roles and digital rewards. And the last idea is an important one, because we believe partnerships only work if the said partner that comes on board really delivers value for our community. That's why we had the idea of Polkadot enabling show matches where fans can actually have a real say in how the match is being played out, so for them to really orchestrate the experience. And then lastly, 2 seconds on conversion, is we don't only want to have a Polkadot logo on the jersey. We would, for the first time ever, have NFC chips on our jersey. We've never done it at G2, so Polkadot would be the first. And for that, obviously, by owning the G2 jersey and wearing it with pride, you can get additional rewards. The next idea is centered around collector's items. So it's like Pokemon style. I only need 1 more minute.
We're just a little bit over time here. I think we got to cut it off here.
Okay, so that's like Polkadot collector's items. And the last one is Seeing is Believing, which is a money can't buy trip that you can do to one of our events, accompanied by our dear CEO.
Very good. All right, guys, thank you very much. Interesting proposal. See that you don't really have a dollar amount attached to this, but you guys are going for DOT, worth about 3.1 million at this time. And
Right.
this is going to be a big discussion, so we hope to see you back on future shows, and also leave some room for comments and questions, because that's really where we turn the community when we have some back and forth. But a well put together
Yeah, happy to.
presentation, and I have to say, a more mature funnel to actually conversions, which is nice to see on this esports proposal. But that's all the time we have here. I think we're over 10 minutes now. Funky, for disrespecting the time today, and it's my fault. I'm an enabler, but I think we should go back to.
It's okay. I mean, at any point, if you want me to bring back the shut the funk up, I will do it.
I think episode 200. I think we got to bring it back. I think we all miss it. We got to stay on schedule, right? Can't be here all day. Okay. Thank you very much, Sabrina. Nice to meet you, and nice to meet the rest of the team here. Moonbear, thanks for bringing this to the DAO. We'll see how we go. And will you guys please come back another time so we can discuss more?
I mean,
100%.
I would absolutely. I think there's a lot of room to discuss this and why and how. I would just urge everybody to really look into this and read it and understand it and what kind of potential it bears, because we need this. I'm not going to be a crybaby now, but we need this. So please look into it.
All right. All right. We'll see. Thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.
With that in mind, we're going to throw it to the other esports sponsorship on the table right now. This is for 3.7 million, but divided in 2 separate payments, and also stablecoins instead of that precious DOT. This is 1388 with Team Vitality. Some strong claims there, Vitality, from G2. I don't know. We'll have to hear what you think about this. We have had the DV votes come in, and Kustau is in your corner. Wow. But Chaos DAO, Lenexus, Saxonberg, and Lucky Friday are on the nay side right now. Nice to have you back. What are you guys thinking? What do you want to say?
Oh, we'll use our time to speak about us, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Guillaume, let's present. But yeah, we'll have time to also discuss how it compares. But that's not the point of today. So Guillaume, can you start presentation?
Nice.
Hey. So go full screen and happy to be back. So I'm Nicolas Morer, CEO of Vitality. We're Team Vitality, one of the biggest orgs in the world. We have 3 years of experience in Web3. We have built a lot in the space. We have built VIve. And the goal today is to, let's say, go further than last week and start answering some of your questions, go into detail to show what we propose in detail and what's in there. So as we said, we want to do a partnership that goes beyond the traditional marketing, partnership, sponsorship. We want to do much more than that. And it starts with the takeover of our product, VIve, on the technical side, having Polkadot as the backbone, the infrastructure of our app, and also a complete rebranding of the app. That's the first part. And then you have the marketing visibility component. You see the Polkadot logo on our jersey, on our socials. All year long, we create a ton of content around the partnership, educating content, and so on. And that generates 3 billion impressions on a yearly basis and 5 million of media value. Third part, we want that you use us as a lab and sounding board for any new Polkadot initiative. The goal is to use our pro players, our community to test new initiatives, new experiences, and to go further in the developing new ideas that connect Web3 and esports, like the NFT player cards, and for example, using the dot currency as in the journey of the fans. So those are the 3 big parts of a partnership. A huge part that maybe we have not explained well or was not understood well last week, and an important one is that we have built something. It took 3 years. We have a lot of learning. We have something extremely relevant in the space. It's VIve, and we make VIve at your disposal. So we open source what we've built for Polkadot. It's a flagship for your ecosystem, and you can use this tech to build new initiative and create additional value. That's the first part, the technology part. Then there's the knowledge. As I said, 3 years in the space, 3 years of trying things, developing features. Some did stick, some didn't. So a lot of learnings there. How do you create those connections and understand the gaming and esports community? We bring all of that to the table. And the last part is indeed that community. We educated our audiences, our community, so they know much more about Web3, blockchain, NFT in general, and you benefit from that educated community. Another key component, I think, is also to say, hey, we are not here to do a lot of promise. Hey, we will do X, Y, Z, we'll do that. We have a lot of cool ideas. We do have a lot of cool ideas. We do a lot of cool content and fun content, but also we have been there for 3 years. We have a dedicated team internally on the tech side, on the marketing side, and we bring all of those internal resources to the table, already up and running and ready to go to the next level in terms of what and who we have internally here. I won't present and introduce everyone, but that's obviously available. And on top of the internal resources and the people we have partners. We have fan primes that powering the quest and gamified side of the app. We have Rare Cubes, we have DOOR. So we rely also on experts in the space to not only have our experts, but also experts in Web3 in general to build something relevant. We have a roadmap also that is ready. We are preparing that and already very detailed. So there's a launch and transition phase, which we call the step 1. We transition on the blockchain. It will take 2 to 3 months. In the meantime, we announce with content, with a lot of noise from our players, our social. We start to output educational content. We explain what the partnership is all about. And then when we're ready, we go to the step 2. And the goal is to have, let's say, a ramp up in terms of the number of people we reach and the number of monthly active users we can deliver in step 1, going to a peak of 10K. And then second part of the year, we start to go bigger. We start to move everything on chain, as we discussed last week. As you know, we have a lot of things happening in the app and a lot of data points that are tracked from the way our fans behave, and that leads to them being rewarded in the app. All of that is moved on chain. We have players activation, we have hospitality and key events, obviously big CS events, big Valorant events. Those are incredible opportunities for the community to go hang out with us and see incredible games with the best teams in the world and the best tournaments. And we have one campaign and so on. And the goal in the second part of the year is to go to the second phase, establish and strengthen, then going into expansion at the end of the year. And the goal here is to go and reach 40K MAU at the end of the first year. Go on. The cost, I think there were questions last week. What does it mean? How do you allocate the money? So the goal here is not for me to be very boring and look at each line, but rather to say, okay, we're very precise. The work has been done. There is the marketing visibility component. That's traditional sponsorship IP right. Again, the presence on the jersey, on the social, the logo presence, and so on. There is the transition phase, the cost associated to the transition, moving the assets, moving smart contracts, everything. So all of that is costed on the second row you see here. And then there's the development, the continued development of the new features of VIve. All of that is detailed, so I won't go into it, obviously, today. I would lose a lot of people, but that's available also. And the last part is to say, we're not only building and going to the next level in terms of feature, but we're also creating content around all that, involving the community and supporting, having marketing activation to support everything that we build, every product that we're doing. So in summary, why enter this partnership? Why join us? Join the Hive to grow in terms of number of people and the community we can bring to the table and the people we can reach. Join the Hive to resonate and pioneer. So pioneer is a key point because we were the first movers in the esports and gaming space and connecting to Web3 with VIve. And now we want to keep that innovation and still being the first when we go to those new phases of the project. So keep on being pioneers. And overall, my key point is that what we bring to the table, we tick all of the boxes. We are a top team. We reach a lot of people all around the world, a lot of engaged fans everywhere. And we bring the knowledge, the history, and the tech, and simply an app that a lot of people are using on a daily basis. So I see 30 seconds left. It's perfect. I have one final word, but it's not from me. It's from one of our new person in the Hive. It's Robs, the superstar of CS. I will let him have the final word here.
Hey Polkadot team, this is Robs from Team Vitality. As you may know, I joined the team 1 month ago, and it was the best decision I ever made. I hope you'll follow the same path, and see you soon.
Yeah, so I think everything's been said here. So thanks, everyone. As a last note, very happy to present again. Obviously, willing to go back next week, answer more detailed question, everything. But as a final word, and you said, hey, how do we compare with others? We are very confident that we bring everything to the table and we have the best offer for you guys. Thanks a lot.
Maybe we should host a 1v1 competition here on AAG, and whoever wins gets the vote.
Yeah, I play Alban on some games, depending. Let's discuss. Happy to do that.
Okay.
Let's do this on League of Legends. I think it could be cool.
Yes, then and Valo. Let's see that. You man.
No, it'll be Flappywood. It'll be Flappywood.
Okay. This team then.
Hey, thanks a lot. Look, another great presentation. Hopefully we can get you back and do some Q&A as well.
Sure.
Presentations are always great, but
maybe the tech guys and everyone in the room happy to do so. Yeah.
It's crazy. You know, episode 1 of AAG, it was created because at that time we were under a council, and opinion was really swayed by a small group in a Discord. What was that? What's that group, that channel called, Limo?
Polkadot Direction.
Direction, yeah, Direction channel. Mostly validators, and they were coming in hard against a funding proposal for WAG Media at the time to fund local content creators. That was episode 1. That's why we started the show. Here we are, episode 200. We have esports teams fighting to get a piece of our beautiful treasury, and you love to see it. It's so cool. Honestly, you know what's the cool thing about these esports teams is teams is that they're so developed as far as, you know, interacting with their community on a technical level. And it is interesting to see how we can slip in there. I think we had a decent go with oh shoot, what's the team that we already have there, Lee? Just slipping my mind.
Heroic.
Heroic, yeah. I'm so sorry, yeah. But yeah, these seem next level. So anyway, thanks very much for coming on. We'll check in next week how it's going and see if we can get some DV turned around or not, and hopefully get some more Q&A. Okay, now we're going to take a quick break from presentations, and then we're going to get to Spencer. But we have the weak hand on the show. Welcome to the show, Sal. We have this Messy World account. So cool. 250,000 followers, basically following Messi, getting exclusive content, and in a large part promoting Polkadot just by getting into the training sessions and photographing these epic athletes wearing the Polkadot logo. And Sal, what happened here? You got a little agreement going on with them.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So yeah, luckily since we made this sponsorship, we are receiving a lot of attention, and we are getting in touch with so many of those accounts that wants to collaborate with us. So obviously, you know, it's not just this what we are working on. You know, obviously, most of the community are aware that we are working closely with the club, also to try to launch their first official app, which we started with a little conversation, but obviously once they realize the potentiality we have in our ecosystem, obviously the conversation are getting on and on and on and on and on. So obviously now we are trying to come up with something initially, of course, because the community is looking forward. And then there are a few more things that we are trying to deploy, which we hope we can announce as soon as possible.
Okay, great. And this particular competition that you guys threw up here, this is people had to follow the Polkadot account, follow the Koos account, and also tag 3 people. And you guys are going to give away a Messi jersey, right?
Correct. Very simple, very straightforward, a lot of engagement, a lot of attention. So
yeah,
we're looking forward to see who is the winner.
Yeah, we've got several hundred new followers on the Koos. We just ran this competition for 3 days. So cool. I'm going to throw up Google's random number generator here. Hopefully in the future, we'll be doing this on Ideal Network recently or confirming for funding from the treasury, but we've got to use Google today. I'm going to generate a number here. Let's see. Oh, 160. Okay, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to find out who 160 is. But Sal, maybe while I count there, you were alluding to an app there. Maybe you could share a little bit about that while I count. At least anything you can.
Of course, I'll try to be careful to don't anticipate anything. Obviously, you know, there are legal involvement, so we don't want to be in any trouble. Yeah, obviously, you know, the Inter Miami was looking for a fan loyalty app, a place where every fan in every part of the world could eventually be on board through this app. So, and we are trying to listen their needs and try to make something that could eventually involve the fan in every part of the world and being part of this world. Okay, not saying anything. Yeah, I'll try to keep it. I'll try to keep it simple, and hopefully that soon, you know, we can disclose everything. You know, because obviously there are a lot of interesting things. There are a few teams involved in the Polkadot ecosystem that at the moment I don't know if everybody are aware with who we are collaborating, and I mean we will have a private event tomorrow, which we will kind of announce some of these discussion. And yeah, as I said, obviously, you know, things are going on, and looking forward to share more.
Okay, perfect timing, buddy. Okay, so the winner of the jersey is going to be this fellow who's called himself 7 on X, 7FixIZA. You, sir, are following the Koos, and you've won this jersey, so we're going to get your mailing address from you, and Sal's going to be sending that jersey over as soon as he can. I'm going to post that right to you there. Sal, thanks very much. This event that you're throwing tomorrow in Miami, I'm going to fly down tonight and I'm going to be
Great.
there. Am I going to be
Looking
able? Are
forward.
we going to be able to announce on the Coos as soon as you announce it at the event? What this is? Going to be able to
Yeah,
make it public?
let's hope so. Obviously, you're gonna join us also in the meeting with the club.
I'm
so
also going to be in some meetings that we're not going to be able to talk about directly right away, but we'll get a sense.
all right.
All right. And I think we're going to be interviewing somebody important to the whole app situation as well for Space Monkeys, right?
Correct.
Okay. And how soon are we going to be able to release that?
Well, I don't know. Depend of the timing.
Okay.
Obviously there is the MLS that is the godfather. They need to give us the approval to disclose what we have in mind. So, but we are very confident. We are in a close stage.
Okay.
So let's see how it goes.
Okay. Anticipation all-time high. Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on in for the updates. And
No
congratulations to
problem.
7.
Thank you.
I think we'll do some more of these giveaways, eh?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Thank you, my man.
Ciao.
All right. Thank you very much, Spencer, for waiting. Sorry about that. But we do have a new ref from you, sir, medium spender. This is Events 2025, March to July, creating permanent user funnels, 452,000 USDC, and early days on the vote here, less than 1 million in play. So yeah, a lot to come. But let's hear what you have on the presentation, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate it. So 2025 is all about leveraging what we've done with Billfold for the Ref 1141. Polkadot, what that means is just like, let's take a holistic look at what Polkadot needs to succeed. And really what that is increasing the user base and stimulating organic transactions. What's great about Billfold is that they have a business model where they organically transact with multiple attendees at different events. It's usually in high volume payment environments, which means it could be music, but it could also be Formula One, it could be soccer, it could be, or football, I'm sorry. Could be, and anywhere where a lot of people are trying to buy drinks or merch all at the same time, right? That's like their thing. Our integration with Billfold, which is going live in the next couple of weeks here before ETH Denver, has already onboarded their past 3 million users and will bring another 2 million users through specifically new music fans to Polkadot. What that means is just we're going into these different venues that we're going to be hosting bash events at and creating user funnels. So essentially we go in, we broker a deal, we say you're using Toast or Square or whatever point of sale system you currently have. We're going to make sure that you are using Billfold. Again, remember Polkadot is sitting within that tech stack. So every event, not just the bash event, but every event moving forward, any person that comes into that venue is going to then have a Polkadot wallet. Every single event moving forward will use Billfold and therefore Polkadot, which just continuously grows those users. And this is all made possible again by Ref 1141, growing the music vertical. That was the Billfold strategic integration that we had put forward a couple of months ago. And that deal signed like at the end of last year. And since then we've been, just working with the team to get everything up and running. So we're looking at like 5 strategic venues, 2 million attendees, 8 global events. How do we get to those attendees? Like, where do these 2 million people come from? Because last year we did 5,000 unique Polkadot wallets. It's just simply based on number of events that a venue is holding each year and the promoters that own the venue, what they're doing. Like, let's say they also run a festival or, they have like Formula One races that they deal with. For that venue group, number of nights, annual attendees, multiply them all together, that's what you get. And this also has like some sort of contingency built in, assuming that like the venues are not packed out every single event. We're doing 2 funding tranches in 2025, 4 events each. And what we're trying to do is just expand into markets where Polkadot already has a strong presence. We believe that it's kind of interesting, but like a lot of these places, a lot of these areas where dance music is really big and where Bash would play really well, it's also where Polkadot's pretty big. So we're looking at like Miami, New York City, Denver, Austin, Toronto, London, and southern Spain, like Ibiza. It's just like an interesting overlap. So we're asking for 445 in tranche 1. Tranche 2 will come in June. We're trying not to do anything. Actually, I think this is 452. That's the wrong number. Our goal is to activate transactions on both Polkadot and Kusama. We want to like mess around and FAFO a little bit on Kusama and try some things out. We had like a small baby bash event we called B. It was like super techno forward. It was like 150 people in Brooklyn in December, just to kind of like try things out and try new tech and see like what could work. And we want to continue that as we move into the next year. These are some of the target venues. If you want specifics as to which venues we're looking at and which promoters we're looking at, that are venue groups. So it's like Public Records in New York, Broadwick Live, which is a huge venue owner in Miami. It's like Space Miami, Do Not Sit, and 11, which is also a strip club, but all the DJs seem to love that spot. It's a big fan of Deadmau5 is a big fan of that one. Denver is Real Works and Tracks, Concourse Project. They run Seismic Festival and they do Formula One races, which is what I mentioned before. Toronto is Standard Time and Coda, and Spain is Amnesia, Pasha, and Eden. These are the events that we're looking to run. It's let's see here, ETH Denver closing party, which is coming up. We are already producing this one. It's like already locked in. Austin, Texas Concourse Project. We're working with them right now to finalize the deal on putting Billfold into their venues. New York City and Miami. Really key markets, really great for dance music, really great for Polkadot. We want to have a strong presence. So 3 million past users and 2 million new users this year. We've got a bunch of past events that we've done. If anybody is new to the show or doesn't know, we've been working on this for a long time. 2024 was really all about us laying the foundation for like creating these user funnels and making Web3 super accessible for everybody, just general music fans. These are some of the metrics from last year that we had, 2024 KPIs, some good stuff there. A lot of what we learned from last year is just like, continue building with the artists is super important. We learned, how to create better experiences, better products, create more partnerships. I think it's great to have like cross-brand pollination. And focusing on the music community first. Last year, we were very focused on like bringing, the rave or bringing like curated music to Web3 users. And we've had a lot of, feedback and learnings from that. And we were like, we should really just be bringing Web3 to like the general music community. ETH Denver is kind of like an opportunity to bring a great, curated music event to the Web3 community. But outside of that, it's going to be pretty limited. Maybe we'll do something for Decoded this year. And these are all the outcomes. We're looking at 4 new Billfold activated venues and partners for this first tranche, 1 million active Polkadot users annually, 3 million on-chain transactions, and just in perpetuity user onboarding. And again, just people that come to the venue, once they have Billfold, it's like a permanent point of sale system. So like, doesn't matter who's producing the event, those people are going to be using Polkadot. And so it's because Billfold's model is set up to create a more optimized experience for point of sale. So the fact that Polkadot sits within that tech stack, that's something we've facilitated. It's just a win-win, and it just allows us to invest in something that then continues to, feed back to the Polkadot community and build those organic transactions. I think that's pretty much it. These are all key marketing highlights. We have our newsletter guest list +1, some good stuff. You guys can all check this out in the in the thing, in the proposal. This is a budget tranche, and yeah, I think that's everything. Any questions?
Very cool. Okay. Yeah, any questions? Okay, Spence, I just get to, just on your KPI sheet there, maybe you could clarify, it was like under 6,000 wallets created in 2024, but you're calling for like 1 million this year. Can you just clear that up?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good point, because people were asking, they were like, seems like a pretty significant jump.
Right.
It's because last year we were focused on just figuring out how the products work within like a live environment. So like of course the numbers are going to be small. We didn't have Billfold at all last year as a partner, and the tech integration wasn't there. So now that the tech integration is there and it's working, and it makes Billfold a Web3, a Polkadot activated company. Now all we have to do is bring those into new venues and strategic venues to activate those users, and it's beyond our events. So last year it was just our events that turned on those wallets. This year, by bringing Billfold into new venues, we're creating wallets for our events, and then every single event after that, we don't have to be there. It just all happens on chain. It's great. You guys should vote
That's
for
cool.
it.
Yeah. I love it. Great. Come to Toronto too.
Toronto, P-Town, baby.
Definitely had some interesting pills at Coda. All right. Thank you very much, Spence. Sounds good.
Thank you.
And I think that our next guest is going to, our next project is integrating with Billfold as well. Isn't that right? With the Connor Daly ref? You guys are going to be doing this as well?
Yeah, we've been. I mean, everyone can use this Billfold integration if it's like a live event type of thing, and create like loyalty rewards. So we've been thrilled to work with Connor Daly's team on this sort of stuff. Andrew,
that's so cool. Yeah, let's hear how it's going. It looks like the votes came in and 69.6% in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4 DVs on the I side, no DVs on the nay side. But Dottie Dreamer, Saxenberg abstained here. Interesting cards. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I want to actually let Connor start it off today. I've done a lot of talking this whole program, so I'm gonna let Connor lead the way. Lead us to green, if you will.
Go Connor, says the chat.
No, I appreciate it. Honestly, it's been cool to just see everyone kind of take, I guess, what we've learned and what we have implemented into this. And just understand that we have tried to do everything that people have asked of us. And I get asked every single day, is Polkadot going to be back? Where are they? Like, what's happening? And I'm like, look, we're working on it. And we still got plenty of time, thankfully, and appreciate the positivity that's kind of come through for sure. But yeah, I mean, every day working with Funky too, and all the guys, this is a team effort. Racing is a team effort. Any sport's a team effort. And so this whole group, I can't do what I do without the group that's here. I can't do what I do without the people that are on my team, at the racetrack. And so we're, no matter what you think of this proposal, if it happens, if it doesn't, we obviously hope it does. But, when it does happen, we want to be working for everyone, no matter what they feel about it. And I think with what we've been able to do and what we've been able to actually just kind of discover as we go along this process, I'm actually probably happier now that we know so much more about what we can do for this community and bring people together for. So nice hats, guys. Appreciate that. Looking strong. Can't wait for the new merch to come out this year. It's going to be fire. But yeah, excited about what we, honestly, I just had an idea. I don't know if Funky wants to put the idea up there, but had a cool idea for the Indy 500 specifically that we might be able to implement. But the Billfold stuff is awesome. Working with Spencer's team, just had a good call with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this morning, which is obviously the largest sporting facility in the world, and that would be a cool integration to have them involved in. They want to see Billfold, since Billfold and Polkadot, everything is kind of on the same team. If they're supporting me, they want to be able to help support us as well. So that's how business to business works, I think. So it's a nice deal. But yeah, I'll let Funky and Andrew kind of go because we want to stay on the time and obviously not get funked out of the house.
Yeah, I mean, I will just jump in and express like the immense gratitude of it. Obviously, seeing the pendulum shift just from the TVs, but even just from the community to date has been really, really remarkable. This is business at the end of the day, and this isn't personal. And that's what I've always reminded a lot of people, when we're having these kind of like deeper, face-to-face discussions. We believe in this. I know some of you have seen, I said I would bet my career on this program. 17 years of doing this, I really, really would. So we're super excited about this opportunity. There's a lot of fun stuff. Even just speaking to Moonbear and Limo about this NFT integration and expansion has me so beyond fired up. Merchandise, we're gonna blow this damn merchandise out of the water. It's gonna be truly something that is gonna rock this ecosystem, but even beyond, it's gonna be super fun.
Super.
I think the key thing too, in general, that they haven't touched on is that this is going to take all of us. This is going to be all about us, Polkadot, the community, getting great agents to these races, having people come along so that they can actually talk about Polkadot to all these great people in the suites, because there's so many C-suite level people who are attending these races from large multinational corporations. What a better time to pitch the Polkadot hub and cloud model, right? This also, as I've been telling a lot of people, dovetails so nicely with the emerging strategic initiative being led by Chrissy Hill. Shout out to Chrissy. Shout out to all of you who are already in the North American group, my friends from America and from Canada. And so I'm just really very grateful for this moment. I know we still have a lot of momentum, and we hope to continue to win over more people, add more support, and just to give that little leak, because Connor gave me permission to do so. We were talking about it in the chat. One of the things is we're going to have our first version of the mock-ups for what the car would look like, but perhaps doing a special edition just for the Indy 500 that will be voted on by the entire Polkadot community. So we can have some options that everybody can vote on and decide what that car should look like. So it will be truly a community initiative that's led by everybody, because this is all about us at the end of the day. This is all about us coming together, about making Polkadot, have a big splash. First and foremost, in North America, the United States, we know that President Trump, the 119th Congress, all these things are about to set off, and we need to have a seat at the table. We need to be leading the conversations, talking about our great technology, all the things that it can offer. And again, I don't want to take up all the time in case anybody has questions or anything else like that. Very excited to have Spencer on board, working with Billfold, knowing that it's going to bring hundreds of thousands of transactions to the chain on top of Polkadot app and so many other things. The incredible NFT initiative. Again, shout out to Limo, Damsky, and Moonbearer. So I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to run over the time.
Spencer.
Yeah, I mean, hundreds of thousands of transactions is probably like extremely conservative. If IMS, if Indianapolis Motor Speedway comes on, you'll get hundreds of thousands of transactions in a weekend. So just to give you an idea of the scale of organic growth from this, I mean, this is a really great, Connor has a strong brand. He's got a dedicated audience. He's going to be going and leveraging his audience to create loyalty rewards for his audience. It's a great proof of concept to show what anybody can do. And it's all done like without, crazy complex Web3 stuff. It's just Connor can say, here are my top fans at this event. Every time one of those top fans goes to get a piece of merch or gets a drink at the bar, he can personalize a message on the point of sale system to give them something to say, thank you for being a loyal fan. Here's like a free, drink on me. Love Connor, or whatever. So I think this is a, before there's a lot of confusion because this wasn't included in the previous proposal. I'm glad that we were able to sync up and figure this out. But this is, we spent a lot of money trying to get people to use Polkadot, right? Or to build on Polkadot, to learn on Polkadot, to eventually years down the road have a ton of users. This immediately brings users and transactions to Polkadot. It's really incredible. And I think it's a strong, strong argument to why you should fund it.
And just to get this on record, the funds that are going for this Bash proposal and the funds that are going for Connor Daly, this is not double dipping. These are separate implementations of the Billfold in different venues, different pot of money, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. Great. So cool. Connor, I see you're building that vlog muscle.
Well, we got to build a YouTube channel, as you know, Jay, to continue to outstretch our arms. So yeah, I've enjoyed the YouTube side, and that is also growing, and that will also be used quite aggressively with this program. So it's been fun, honestly. It's creating more arms and more legs on the octopus, I guess. Just getting everything out there.
No, your online audience is incredible, and it's looking really good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. Okay, nice to see that turnaround. Last one today. Yeah, Electro Coin, Ref 1376. So this is an interesting one, and Nicola, are you here? Yeah, hey.
Yes, I'm here.
You came on during discussion, and I was actually pretty stoked about this. I thought it was like an easy one, a localized stablecoin implementation. I don't know. I thought it'd be great, but then it kind of came. The thing that kind of turned this was that it came up that you guys already have a proposal going, and we haven't been updated on how that went. And then people saw that, okay, now we're asking for a new clutch of funds, and yeah, it just didn't work out politically there. So hopefully we'll get some explanation today. Nicola, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me back. So if you're okay with it, I would start with the issue of reporting on Lightsend.
Sure.
So we in fact did progress report through Polkassembly. We were not aware of existence of OG tracker. That one's on us. It's a mistake on our side. We now filled the progress report through OG Tracker also. It's a DL one. We reached out to the OG Tracker team to learn how to make this task list more detailed, so we can be really, more transparent, because we're still committed to transparent reporting. You can take a look at our progress report on Polkassembly, and I mean, it was submitted before the referendum, and it's quite detailed. So just a quick note on Lightsend. It's progressing nicely. You can find all of this information you can find in progress report. So we had issues with finding an on-ramp. This was a surprise for us. For instance, Nova Wallet uses Mercurio, Transact, and Banksa, and none of those support USDC on Polkadot, which is quite surprising. So we spoke with a lot of on-off ramps, and in the end, we went with Mercurio, and they do not support USDC on Asset Hub. So we went with DOT, which is a volatile asset, and that made a bit of issue for us. And the Mercurio implementation is very buggy, so it took us like months to streamline everything with Mercurio. But yeah, now it's in production. It works nice. We use that global on-off ramp to pitch this service to several local providers, and now we are integrating with the provider in Bosnia and Herzegovina and in Turkey, which were our target countries when we went out with the proposal. And we also selected providers for Africa and South America, which will be next after Bosnia and Turkey. So progress is there. We will continue to report on it transparently, including through the OG tracker. And again, sorry about the confusion this caused. Believe me, I'm the most sad about this. So then on quit proposal, we absolutely understand the community sentiment. Lack of reporting on EG tracker is a real issue. We are fixing that. We already fixed that. So if any voters choose to reconsider the vote after that, great. If not, still great. We are very thankful for all the feedback that we got. In fact, there was not a lot of negative feedback on the app itself, on Quit, which we take as a good sign. We will embark on the project even if the referendum fails. At this point, it is almost certain it will fail. But yeah, going through this experience, although quite nerve-wracking, it helped us really a lot also to streamline the product. And also regarding discussions here on this, congratulations on 200 AAG. On this episode, I really like the G2 proposal and rethinking of the Polkadot onboarding funnels. And I must say that both Lightsend and Quit are basically funnels to onboard new people onto Polkadot, and doing it in simple possible way, by solving a problem that people have. So there's no like what I do with Polkadot. In first case, it's just remittance, and in second case, it's payments problem that everybody has, and you don't need to think, how am I going to use Polkadot? So yeah, that's it from my side. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, great. Well, unfortunate hiccup there, and sorry to see it happen. Of course, it's hard to keep up on all the social norms of OpenGov, especially months later. Lightsend, so this is working now, and you have some implementations coming, some people who are going to bring it in. Oh, hold on. Might be losing.
Yeah, so one of the issues mentioned in comments was where's all the marketing? We didn't touch the marketing budget yet because we are now only implementing the local partners, and in this quarter we plan on starting spending that marketing budget on Turkey
and on Bosnia and Herzegovina.
And just to be clear, LightSend works with USDC in the end. Did you work that out, or is it only works with DOT?
No, it's DOT. It's DOT, yeah, because we didn't find an on-ramp that has USDC on Polkadot. But I mean, remittance, the point of LightSend is doing quick transactions.
Yeah.
So volatility of DOT is, we minimize this issue. But having, Transac or, MoonPay or Mercurio have USDC on Polkadot, that will really help.
Okay,
I mean, it would work also for Nova Wallet,
Yeah, right. That's true, Limo. Like the Mercurio, and they don't have the USDC, eh?
You just try it. Go to
Yeah, I can tell you the whole story. So the DeFi bounty was going to pay them to implement Asset Hub, and then there's some problem with some provider they use. So I don't believe they implement Asset Hub until Plaza at the moment.
Wow.
So.
Okay. And then
So this is a unique thing in my opinion. I think unless Magic Ramp has it.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, in all of our research, we didn't find anybody. I mean, it took time. That's why it's a bit slow. I know it's been like 10 months since our grant proposal, but I mean, even Mercurio, that seems to be the best one of them. It took them like a month and a half to answer an email, and we pinged them, and it's just and then like it works, and then we start testing it with our Bosnian friends, paying exuberant fees because it's not a local provider, and then it just doesn't work. And they ask us to provide like a credit card detail for this user, and we're not doing that.
Right.
So yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. I'm really sorry that we missed the OG tracker thing. We really want to be quite transparent on this.
Yeah, Lee.
So in general, I would agree that we need more on-off ramps for USDT, USDC. As somebody from, let's say, the EU or UK, the only like CEX that supports USDT is Binance, I think. So there is one other on-off ramp that supports USDC, which is Magic Ramp. You can see that it's USDC, right? Which is like new, right? But in general, like more on-off ramps for USDT, USDC is like we definitely need that.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that 8 months ago they didn't have it because we really didn't.
Yeah. This is like news. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Spence.
There's also Ratum. They're based out of the UK. They're like on-off ramping stuff. We're working with them to kind of because they have their MTLs. I think they have a banking partnership in the United States and in the UK, I would think, if they're based out of the UK, but I could be wrong on that one. We're just using them for off-ramping stuff with USDC on Asset Hub once the smart contracts go live. So just as a heads up on that one. I don't know if you came across them.
I highly doubt we're going to now switch providers because our whole strategy of LightSend is using local providers. So Mercurio or Magic or whatever, they won't match the marketing budget that we got from Polkadot. But small local player in Turkey, Bosnia, whatever, it's in their interest, to match the marketing funds we got from Polkadot. So now we are integrated with Mercurio using DOT. That's going to stay, but we're going to use USDC on Polkadot with the smaller players because we forced them to do that. This is the only way we want to transact.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So your total update that can be found on PokeAssembly. I see the update on OG track, but you typed more on PokeAssembly. I'm going to try to find it right now, actually.
Yeah. Just go to the referendum. It's
493.
Number 493. Evaluation tab, progress report.
PokeAssembly, man. Oh, there we are. 493.
We input that as soon as there was a pop-up like a month ago or 2 months ago on PokeAssembly. You can now fill out progress reports. As soon as we saw that, we did one because that also did not exist when we did the referendum. As soon as we saw that, we filled out a progress report. But yeah, we just didn't know about the OG track.
Okay, all good. Yeah, it's a lot of finicky work at the local level. That's worth doing. it's and another situation that once it's done, then we kind of have those rails set up. I saw some people saying like, we're about to release the Polkadot app. Like, why would we need Quit? But it's like Polkadot app is like not doing the same thing. It's doing like it's America only. It's doing gift cards. It's not doing what you guys are trying to do over here. So
Yeah, Talisman had a great slide, like
yeah.
a cross section with the Nova wallet, and they're doing trading and stuff like that. And we should probably do something like that, a slide like that. Like we're doing payments, and we don't want to expose dApps and staking and whatnot. We want our target is my mother taking the app and sending money without breaking a sweat, you know. And that's not going to happen with Talisman or with Nova.
All right. Okay. Thanks very much, sir, for coming on. We'll see if this information propagates through the community and this gets turned around. But if it doesn't, are you going to resubmit?
Yeah, after we have after we finish up our roadmap on Lightsend, we are going to start developing Quit, on our own, probably at a slower pace than if we could hire a whole new developer to do that. But after we deliver everything on Lightsend, I mean, we've been burned, so we will probably get it back. I mean, Nova does this, after they develop everything, they come for fun. So I mean, that seems also to be a reasonable strategy. Maybe we do it middle way. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. It's split. So it's sometimes we're saying we want retroactive. Sometimes we're saying no, we want to decide what first. But maybe it is splitting the middle. I'm not sure. Anyway, sorry about the trouble, and thanks for coming back on and explaining everything. We'll try to get this information around and see what happens.
Thank you for reaching out and inviting me back.
Good. All right, so that's all the presentations I had lined up for this week, but we still have a lot of people on the panel. Is there anything anybody else wanted to speak about or present about today? Richard.
Thanks, Jay. I just wanted to say thank you very much for the community passing our ref 1315 Ascom. I just wanted to say that we're working hard on that at the moment. I wanted to just show a slide, if it's possible, very quickly. Some of my team are actually over in Berlin with the Kilt team, and they're working out the architecture and a few of the other modules. The Kilt team are going to lead on the communication module and a couple of other bits. So let me just share my screen 1 second. So basically, the idea, let me just find that. Can everyone see that?
Yeah.
So the idea is that think of this like buckets over time and different DIDs. I think semantics always get in the way of these things. It's not identity, it's identifier. So think of these like they could be users, they could be players, they could be fan IDs, they could be anything. Basically, there'd be this interaction between these various DIDs in this bucket relating to a specific asset or group of assets. And that could be messages, that could be actions like voting or reviewing a doc. And then that proof or that interaction would then have a proof associated with it in that particular bucket. And then as time goes on, there could be new buckets associated with different groups of DIDs, but associated with that same asset or group of assets. And then you get basically a blockchain of time of proofs relating to that asset. So that's we're trying to abstract it out completely and make sure that it's something that any project in the Polkadot ecosystem could use. It's blockchain agnostic. We're going to have like an SDK that people can play around with to make it useful their own use case. And then you might see the DID2 at the bottom. That might be some independent party. It might be a government. It might be a regulator, which would have access and the overall view of that whole timeline of events. So I just wondered if anyone's got any questions about that.
Personally, I wouldn't know what to ask, but does anybody?
Well, it's quite interesting that I went to the game souk with .play a few weeks ago, And like gaming's huge. You've got the likes of Roblox that are, you know, dominating, as well as other developers. And you know, if you imagine a game like Fortnite, where you've got a team of different players winning an NFT, so they might interact and say what they wanted to do with that NFT. So that's just one use case, and you know, one sort of vertical. But you could imagine lots of different ways that we could identify, you know, improve that interaction in relation to some of the NFTs. Because I think, you know, Angela Dalton said some of these NFTs are worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, you know, I just think that it's an opportunity, both from a regulated industry point of view, but also, you know, not regulated and sort of the wider context. So that's just wanted to give an update that we're building this stuff. We are going to take 6 months. So it started in January. You know, I'll try and do an update every month, but I just wanted to say that it's all in hand.
Thank you. We appreciate the update.
Thanks, guys.
All right, good stuff. Anybody else have something that they want to talk about today before we review some refs on the go? All good. A few, yes, Mr. Elliott.
Hello, hello. So
Hey.
yeah, I don't know if it's related to refs on the go or not. Yeah, maybe I should wait a bit.
Did you want to speak about Interstellar? Did you want to present about Interstellar?
Yeah, like not really present, just like mention that we basically received feedback and that we answered the feedback, and maybe like just elaborate just a bit like on the feedback.
Please.
I don't know. Should I do it now? Should I do it?
Yeah, we'll start the timer. You got 8 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need 8 minutes, but just yeah. So we received the feedback from Chaos DAO. So we were basically requested to elaborate a bit on the value proposition we are bringing to the eco, and especially also in relations to like the resilience and security of like the smart account features.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, just wanted to elaborate. Like we posted like 2 comments on the ref directly, so feel free to read it. And just wanted to elaborate a bit. So basically, yeah, Polkadot is really known like for the strong resilience and like the strong security. Like we have the highest Nakamoto coefficient and so on. So it's really, really robust and mature infrastructure. And however, we still want to like onboard in the best possible way so that the user experience also the easiest possible. And so far, like only like the only real solution that exists to abstract away seed phrases, abstract away passwords, abstract away all the complicated stuff to onboard the user, is really like Google and Apple passkeys. And these components are like really completely centralized. And so that's exactly like where our value proposition comes in. So for example, passkeys are also the implementation of passkeys completely closed source. They're not open source, they're completely centralized. It's like a centralized silo. And so we are proposing basically a decentralized alternative to this kind of onboarding which passkeys allow, like from Google and Apple and so on. So we'll have exactly the same user onboarding, like one-click user onboarding, like it was a topic discussed also today, like a lot of onboarding experience being discussed right now. And we can propose like really, so there have been the decentralization of money, like for Bitcoin and like especially like cryptocurrencies. There's also been the decentralization of data. So personalized data, give the user access and control over his data. And so we are the first project that is decentralizing authentication. And so that's really like important to understand that if we rely on centralized parties like Google and Apple to onboard into the ecosystem, that always creates like a centralized point of failure, which compromises the resilience of the whole ecosystem. Like Google, Apple accounts, if they are hacked, and they can be hacked and quite easily in today's world, like you will burn users. And so that's like our value proposition is really creating the decentralized and resilient alternative to Google and Apple passkeys, which is from a security perspective much more resilient, but without compromising the easy user experience and the instant onboarding aspect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interestingly put. Because right now, like with NovaWall, I mean, NovaWall is pretty explicit. Like this is not an account to be taken seriously. I think there's some warnings and whatnot that's thrown up, um, but this would just take out that problem altogether, eh?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you have like Nova Wallet, which implements passwords right now, like to onboard the user, and then you have like the Polkadot app, for example, which eliminates passwords altogether.
Oh, I see.
And so you don't need, as a user, you want to onboard, you don't even need passwords. Like you just rely on passkeys, it's called, this technology.
Yeah.
But right now, like passkeys are completely centralized. So we are the first team really to decentralize this technology built on Polkadot and secured by Polkadot. So that can be like a real game changer for the whole industry of Web3. Because we are really the first one to decentralize authentication. So I don't know if this clarifies maybe a bit more like what exactly our value proposition is.
Yeah, it does for me. That's interesting. Any comments or questions on that? Okay, that's good. Yeah, we'll get this clip out soon, and hopefully more people can hear about that. Thanks very much for coming on and sharing.
Cool, guys. Then, yeah, if any question, like, feel free to comment also in the ref and so on. Just wanted to make sure.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right. I want to give a heads up. There's this discussion right now, Jam Gray Paper Reader, retroactive funding. This is a couple guys who came on the show recently, and they're going to be coming back next week to discuss this project that they built, which makes reading the gray paper a lot easier for those implementing it. I guess it's a nice tool. $21,000 they're going to be looking for there. So we'll see them next week. Ideal Network. Yeah, Lee.
I just want to make sure we don't gloss over the Funkosaurus Rex's wish for change. He needs time to be able to talk about it, you know?
I didn't get any message that, we needed time. Which one is this? What?
It's a wish for change.
Where?
Fast.
What is it? What number?
1394, I think is the right one. I will be it's super fast, right? Because there's not even a decision deposit on it.
Hey, get that timer going.
I won't even need all the time. Like there's no decision deposit on it. Basically, and I really, as much as I love Limo, I'm gonna put this at his feet, right? Because I
7 minutes
never knew how to do anything with JS until we built GM. And Limo lovingly dragged me down the Polkadot JS rabbit hole because he saw me minting GMs with the clock spinner thing and just like spamming the RPC trying to mint these things. He's like, dummy, just do a batch call. So then I started minting like 1,000 GMs at a time and 1,000, GNs so I could give them out to all my friends. That's how I moved up the leaderboard. But then I got better at like putting things on chain, and I said, you know what? I want to do a wish for change because I was talking to Beef and Chaos DAO, and he said like, we DC into stables, and I'm a Bitcoiner at heart. I'm the first to admit that, right? Some of us are. Limo is. And so I said, we should DCA into Bitcoin. Now, granted, I know it's not the native Bitcoin, and it's a wrapped version, but still in terms of times of volatility, I mean, look at how hard the alts wilt when Bitcoin, takes a scuff on the chin. And so I just thought for long-term treasury, I put up a wish for change. So I tried to do it strictly through JS. I don't think it went through, but the pre-image was working and I couldn't quite figure it out. So that's why there was the mistake of 1393 where it was but I couldn't pull the pre-image because then I went to Poke Assembly and I put it on using the same pre-image, knowing that was going to work. I then used Poke Assembly to put up a wish for change. And it was only after that I realized there was a 20,000 dot decision deposit. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You can ignore this. This is just a glorified discussion post because I'm out. So there's really no point in like spending a whole lot of time on it. I just wanted to generate a conversation. It was literally some Friday night FAPO. I had been with the Chaos DAO boys, posting feedback on Poke Assembly. And then I was just like, you know what? Beef talked about like DCing into Bitcoin. Like, I'm going to put up a wish for change. And it was just literally like some Friday night FAFO on my part. I had some loose dot to do the pre-image and everything else, and just wanted to initiate a conversation. It looks like it's failing miserably in just about every server, which is fine. But I do think long term, I mean, here we are on the heels of potentially today announcing something very important. There's an executive order probably coming today, tomorrow at the latest. If it's a strategic Bitcoin reserve, get ready for the God candle. You know, I had a wonderful repartee with everybody's favorite kind sage, Mr. Cole. You know, and he's like, oh, buy in the bear and sell in the. I'm like, I don't play that game. I'm a DCA guy. Like, if we begin nation state FOMO, you're gonna wish you were buying Bitcoin right now. I mean, Larry Fink is out here on the news talking about Bitcoin being $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, and I'm sure he means like by the end of the decade. So there's never a bad time to DC into Bitcoin. Not
Agreed.
financial advice. I am just that guy. I had an awesome conversation with Blinken, you know, and I even said, I alluded to the fact, like, look at how Kusumarian does its treasury, right? Part of that is put into Bitcoin. So I just feel it's worthy of a conversation, but it's going to time out because there's no decision thoughts on it. I'll leave it at that. Thanks, Jay.
Bitcoin's great, especially holding it for a long time. Doesn't matter when you buy it. Lee?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this really serious and give Funky some serious feedback here. So Funky, I agree that having Bitcoin is pretty good. It's my biggest bag, and it's, you know, hydration has a lot of Bitcoin. I think it's pretty good. There's some problems with the ref, Funky. It doesn't say exactly what BTC asset to purchase, which is going to cause chaos down the line. There's currently issues with IBTC, the asset itself being off par, the bridge being wrecked, the team kind of being AFK.
Description, because I did talk about threshold because I knew that we were starting to acquire TBTC.
TBTC, that was my next one. I would wait for hydration to purchase potentially TBTC and see how that goes. In general, I'd be kind of in favor of like multi-asset treasury, buying more assets than just dot on USDT. But yeah,
Centrifuge right now, like about diversifying the treasury because they only hold CFG, and like this is a common conversation now that's emerging among DAOs, and I feel it's an important one.
Yeah,
and yeah, like Jose said, at the moment you get into this conversation of like people are just gonna be like, don't buy WBTC, which I would agree with, and I think Hydra is diversifying out of it right now. There's like IBTC is kind of wrecked at the moment, so it's TBTC. But I would say to the Polkadot treasury, wait for hydration to FAFO with TBTC, and then if it's working out well in the eco, you can buy it through hydration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be the ideal. But you guys can vote on it however you want. If like I said, if nothing else, it was a Friday night FAFO. It was fun putting up a wish for change. It's a glorified discussion post.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up.
I always vote nay on your refs, Funky, every single time. I just see buy Funky and press the thumbs down.
You gave me the Ryan Gosling, Jeff.
I think it's good. I think a lot of this treasury in BTC would make sense. And just to clarify, Kusumarian actually doesn't hold Kusumarian Media Arm treasury. He doesn't hold any BTC derivatives right now since the wrapped Bitcoin thing got into trouble. We are waiting for TPDC to get back in though. It was a big debate, and I don't know. I'm okay with wrapped Bitcoin, but I understand. I don't know. You know, I just respect our treasurer in that regard. So TBTC, please, would be great to get that soon.
Oh yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yeah. You know, I was telling a story on Monday because I was trying to get into Melania, right? I'd be a millionaire by now. But I got into Phantom Wallet and stuff like that. And Phantom Wallet has a line for Bitcoin. How does that work? Do they have what? How
They
does it?
support ETH,
Mhm.
Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, Phantom it's like the #1 downloaded wallet. There's a reason they had a $3 billion valuation and raised like hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever it was recently. I mean,
Wow. So that'll just handle a Bitcoin seed phrase and like an existing one, and then it just goes. That's pretty
Yeah.
handy. I like that. That's cool.
Put your ledger to it if you want to use your ledger with the Phantom, and then you have all that functionality in ledger if you want. ETH, Sol, Bitcoin.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you, Funky. Nice
man.
one. And thank you, Limo, for bringing that up.
Yeah.
That was important. Okay, look, other things on the go. Ideal Network, 99.9% in favor. This one. looking really good. That one's going to enter confirmation in 2 weeks. And the Polkadot Fast Grants bounty, this one's hovering around 60%, but looking to confirm in just under 6 days. And yeah, I do hope that one gets through. I think that one's pretty cool. And yeah, that's it. Just confirming this week. We have Subscan Q3, Q4 looking pretty good. Subscan has been adding some nice features lately, and do appreciate them for that. Yeah, Lee?
There is something to discuss with the Subscan stuff.
Oh, yeah,
but
sure.
I'm
Go ahead.
now debating whether or not I'm allowed to talk about it. So Monday's show, if you want to
What?
learn more about block explorers, we'll maybe talk about it on Monday, along with some Tornado Cash related stuff potentially.
Yes, yes. Okay, we'll save it for then. Thank you. That'll be exciting. And then finally, the Polkadot Moderation Team bounty top up for 2025. 27.33 thousand dot. This one's confirming 99.9% in favor. That's going to be done confirmation in just under a day. All right, that's show 200, guys. Good work. Thanks for being here. Anything else we want to talk about before we head out?
I just want to say it's crazy that we're at 200 and like that I started on episode 9 and it was literally me, you, Limo, and Raul. Like how far this show has come is absolutely insane and incredible, even though you had to put up with that crazy business at the beginning. I'm sorry, Jay.
That's fine. That was wild. But look,
There
they
was
can't.
pride.
The trolls can't touch us. We're too developed here. Yeah, Lee.
I think it's something like only 44% of podcasts go past 3 episodes. I don't know how many go past 100, yet alone get to 200. It's been really cool to see AAG develop. Like at the start, it was like 4 people, 5 people. I was getting maybe a bit too drunk on some of the episodes, and now it's a bit more serious. It's we're not in bars anymore getting drunk and saying regrettable things. We're now being a bit more serious, and it's like a cornerstone of Polkadot governance now.
So cool. Yeah, we've all matured along the way. Moon Bear.
Yeah, I always said if I ever go on cam, it should be for something meaningful. And in fact, it was the 200th episode of AAG.
Oh yeah,
Thank you for making this happen.
I don't know if you were doxxed. I was gonna say like on the GT Plus, I'm like, is this the first time you've like been publicly on camera?
Yeah, it is. 200th episode, gotta do it.
Yeah, we didn't get the magic trick like on Friday Night Chaos DAO calls from back in the day, though.
Oh yeah,
That
do
was
you
good.
do you do magic, Moon Bear?
I just called it a magic.
Funky, you're better at telling the story than me, but it's just.
No, before he used to like show his face on cam, he would just see his hands and he would roll a spliff and it looked magical. It was like the way he would do it.
I just hope Mr. Burns makes an appearance at one point on AAG.
Who's that, Mr. Burns? From
He
The
is not
Simpsons?
going to make an appearance. I don't even know if Mr. Burns is ever going to come out of the closet again.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks very much, guys, for coming on, and we do look forward to seeing you on Monday. Yeah. All right. Monday show 3:30 p.m. UTC, and yeah, we keep this all rolling. Like I said, I'm gonna go to Miami. The Coos is gonna be in Miami this weekend, so look out for some content on the go there. Should be pretty exciting. On Sunday we have Space Monkeys. We're getting up there too with Space Monkeys. I think this is 177 with Rada from the Web3 Foundation. Also had a big hand on the PBAX, which I'm working through right now, and a lot of people are. That's been a great educational experience, and that's a great episode with him too. So do check that out. We'll see you all on Monday, guys. Have a great weekend, everybody.